Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards, because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I've got Sherman and Slothy with me. Sherman, how you doing today?
I'm tired. I'm an idiot.
Just not respecting your sleep schedule, or what?
It's not that. It's like, so let's tell the audience here. I'm lactose intolerant, and then I'm like, yesterday I'm like, you know what? Like, I feel like an ice cap. So Timmy's ice cap. So girlfriend's like, oh, I'll bring you one and anything, and I'm like, okay, that's sweet. And she's like, you do know, like, every time you drink one, it hurts you, right? I'm like, you know what? Today might be a different thing. Today might be the day. It might, treat me different. It doesn't. It doesn't at all. But they're so good.
Did you get the pistachio one?
No.
The pistachio one's too good. Oh, it's I tried one. I was like, I like pistachio. I was like, I'll go get another one of these right now. Worth the death.
Oh, yeah, worth the death on the toilet.
That's fair.
How about you?
I'm good. I went out for a nice dinner last night with some buddies and everything. Really long week at work and everything. So I think I've worked, it was 159 hours in 13 days. Woo! Yeah.
Yeah, because like they had to close down the highway, right?
Oh yeah.
And everything.
It was pretty crazy. So like just like in local weather, Edmonton was just horrible. Like going up to Edmonton and stuff, and you saw people like spinning out on the highway all the time. It's pretty crazy. But they actually for a little bit like had to close the highways down because of how many cars were going in the ditch. So they couldn't. They weren't allowing tow trucks to operate in some of like the cities because they needed all of them to pull people out of ditches. And then there's just me just motoring along, having a good time, listening to that epic musical. Can't get enough of it. So it's a good musical. But no, other than that, it's been good. Just been, like you said, busy with the weather and everything. So I was a little bummed out I didn't get to play. We were going to play some games this weekend. And then, like I said, with just work and everything, there just wasn't the time to get everything ready. So I was bummed out about that. But hopefully I can get some games in with my boys soon. And Slothy, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. It was a week. Got out to play some hockey at the ODR with some of my coworkers yesterday. Watched Hamilton last night again. Speaking of music,
no, I love musicals and I've never seen Hamilton. Is it worth?
It's worth at least one watch. Yeah.
Fair. My wife really wants to watch the Les Miserables.
The Hugh Jackman one.
I don't even know which one. I just know she really likes the musical.
I would find a stage performance of that one. The movie was not great.
It's not as good as the other?
No.
That's fair. She's been wanting to watch that one for a long time. I really like musicals too much. It's really funny. A lot of people say that I look really cranky all the time and I look like aggressive. And then it's like, so anytime people are like trying to road rage with me, I'm often just listening to musicals. Like people are like giving me the finger while I'm driving and I've got like Beetlejuice the musical on. I'm just like, just listening to like Shake Senora with like a big smile on my face. People are like, get off the road. It's people get a little wild and stuff.
Roll down your window. People are yelling at you. You're just singing Say My Name.
Yeah, exactly. You get it. I love that song. That's a great musical too. Honestly, if anyone has any good musical recommendations, always send them to me because I like music just a ton, and musicals fall into that. We're doing my favorite commander. I've talked lately that I keep building this deck. I'm gonna put like 4 or 5 of them in the episode description, but today we're talking about the one and only Rigo. I love Rigo so much. Rigo is such a cool commander. It's like a 50-cent commander you can't beat, like 50 cent in foil. It's got a ton of hybrid symbols in it, so you could build it just mono white if you wanted. You could build it Azorius. You could build it Selesnya. You build it Bant, whatever way you want. There's no right or wrong way to build Rigo. It's generally, as a forward, a deck you just put garbage in. It's just a deck full of garbage. My first Rigo deck, I think, was like $60. Is pretty garbage. This is like my top tier, top of the line Rigo deck that I'm not going to put like duels into a deck with a 50-cent commander. It's crazy, But what Rigo does is, number one, makes my heart happy. Number 2, it's either a hybrid green-white, a white, and then a white-blue, like hybrid. It's a 2/2 cat citizen. It enters with a shield counter on it. And that is like one of my favorite things because go ahead and kill it. This cat's got 9 lives. I'll keep playing it. Every time you want to remove Rigo, you have to remove it twice or exile it. And again, that's fine. All you're doing is killing a 2/2 that I'm not attacking with. We only want Rigo's ability for this nonsense. Whenever you attack a player or planeswalker with 1 or more creatures with power 1 or less, draw a card. I don't need to do damage. I don't need to. You can kill my creature on attack. You can block it. Do whatever you want. It's just an insane draw engine. The fact that we can get an extra 3 draws a turn by being aggressive in Bant is just a fun play style, I find. And you're only looking for creatures with power 1 or less, so it's always going to be bad creatures. There's no other way around it. They're not going to be good creatures. Like there's no crazy bangers in the 0 power slot for attack, right?
Who he says.
No, trust me, there's not. But like I said, Rigo's been one of my favorites. It's full of really low power and not very good cards, this deck, like in advance. But the quantity that you're drawing in is pretty phenomenal because you want to keep just like a pre-game plan. You want to keep a hand with 3 lands, generally speaking. That's most games, right? And you're just going to dump creatures out, and then the turn that Rigo hits, you're going to get an extra 3 draw to refill your hand because you're going to just, pardon me here, you're just going to swing out and kill people. That's what we want to do. Well, kill people is the wrong word. You're going to swing out and probably not even really damage anyone, but that's still that. So let's get into some of our Rigo really quickly before we even go into it. I want to know what direction you guys would go in this deck before you guys see it.
Well, I would go into House of Cards first.
Oh yeah,
and see what they have there.
Yeah.
So
houseofcards.ca. Buy all your Delnies there, man. That card's expensive.
It's probably a $20 card now, right?
No, it's like 40 or 50.
What?
Yeah, Delny hurts me. But yeah, houseofcards.ca, promo code IT99 for any of the cards you want for this or other decks. Great shipping, great inventory. They've kind of got it all. So go over to houseofcards.ca. Supports us, gets you cheap cards, fast shipping, and they're great. And then AI armor for sleeves, because I just like the AI armor sleeves, guys. They're really nice.
Yeah.
Let's talk a bit. I have a few alternate win conditions in the deck. Let's get into those ones. So I'll let Sherman take us away.
All right. Alternate win conditions. Oh, good golly. All right. We got Epic Struggle for 2 double green. Enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 20 or more creatures, you win the game. So this is like the opposite of a Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Again, the deck is full of pretty not good things. There's a Delny in the deck, and that I think is the only good creature. Everything else is garbage. You're not removing my stuff. Again, people aren't going to be like, I kill your Triton Shorestalker. Oh, okay, good job. So Epic Struggle win is pretty easy to kind of sneak off. And again, it does kind of just reset the board because we don't have good creatures, right? So we can force a board wipe to happen. Either you board wipe or I win. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The next one we've got here is Hairstrung Koto. 6 mana artifact. Tap an untapped creature you control. Target player puts the top card of their library into their graveyard.
That's just an annoying card.
I love this card. I wish it wasn't 6 mana though.
It'd be nice if it wasn't 6 mana, but pretty much everything in our deck is really low mana, so a lot of times in this one we're not going to care. But yeah, if this came in at a 4, this would be a really, really nice card.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll make another card like this and just make it a 4. Like, hey, look, it's power creep, people.
True. It is just very nice. I like to, like I said, the amount of draw we get in this deck really makes it consistent, and with consistency comes power a lot of times. So I tend to play this Rigo into slightly higher power tables and stuff because it's really funny to beat people's 7s and 8s with a deck that's full of garbage. It's full of 0/1 and 1/1 creatures, and then you win the game and people are pretty mad. So I like it. But with consistency, I always like to have some form of top deck manipulation, right? They tutor the top of the library, I tap a creature, you mill it. Boo, right? And then also it is just kind of nice to use my 10 untapped creatures before I go to my turn to mill you for 10 cards.
Yeah.
Never the Marin player. We go to Halo Fountain next. This is 2 and a white. You can pay 1 white, tap it, untap a tap creature you control. You get a 1/1 white green citizen. So we're already aggressively attacking. So we're gonna have tap creatures all the time. 2 white, untap 2 tap creatures you control, draw a card, which is just furthering our insane draw engine in this deck. And then 5 white. Sorry, you untap 15 tap creatures you control. You win the game. Yeah.
Wow, this
I like this card.
Good golly.
Huh? Yeah. It's some of these cards are really getting up there in price, sadly, for these ones, but I do just really like again, it's a 1/1 generator, which is good for our commander. It gives us a draw engine, and then it has a win con stapled onto it. So it's a nice little piece of tech to have there. I got to switch our order so Slothy can have the next one, obviously.
Oh,
That's fine.
how kind of you. We've got Strixhaven Stadium, card which I've never talked about before. Actually, I'm gonna have to read what it does. 3 mana artifact. You can tap for a colorless and put a point counter on it. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, remove a point counter from it. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to an opponent, put a point counter on Strixhaven Stadium. Then if it has 10 or more, remove them all, and that player loses.
Yeah, it is.
Banger card.
It's a great card. It's a nice little piece of ramp, and just if you have an aggro creature deck, it is really, because it's not once a turn. You can just smash people with 10/1/1s and they die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pseudo infect style.
All right. What section are we going into next? Are we just going straight down?
Let's just go down. I've got 2 generic creatures.
Generic creatures. All right.
Yeah, I'll let you take the first one here.
We got the Gala Greeters for 1 in a green. Creature, elf, druid. It's a 1/1. It has alliance. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. You can either put a +1/+1 counter on the Gala Greeters. You can create a tapped treasure token, or you can gain 2 life. I would probably do the treasure tokens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's all of them are pretty good. We generally don't really care about this 1/1 because we don't want our creatures to be big. It's kind of nice to stack up on our commander, but the life gain is also cool. But yeah, I generally am going to go for the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting so much card draw, you might as well get the ramp, right?
Yeah. And then in my other generic creature slot, I have Leon and Elder. Like I said, I tend to like to play this into a little bit of higher power. And again, it's not really a higher power deck. It's how you play. If you're aggressive, it's politics stuff. I play it into higher power stuff. That doesn't mean it's a great high power deck. You don't need to tell me this deck is a 4 and it's trash. I get it. I understand. But I use the next one because of the tables I play into. It's Leon and Elder. It's 1 white for a cat cleric, 1/1. And whenever an artifact comes into play, you may gain a life. In a lot of decks, if people are spitting out those early game artifacts and mana rocks, it's a great turn 1.
And playing I should put this card into Marnius.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, because those are clue tokens, right? The artifacts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would gain a lot of life. I hate that card, that officious thing. It's too much investigation for me. Let's go into our draw section here.
Sure.
The deck draws a ton of cards. You will have a mitt full of cards all the time.
Our first one here is a Bident of Thassa. 2 double blue for a legendary enchantment artifact. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. And 1 in a blue and tap it. Creatures your opponents control attack this turn if able.
That second ability has killed me so many times.
Yeah, it's rough to get like force goaded. Well, not goaded. They can still attack you, but
yeah, and that's the thing. Like I'm like, haha, you must attack. Oh wait, why are you attacking me? Ah, crap.
Oh wait, I don't have very many blockers at the moment.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like it would be funny to force you to attack. Oh wait, you're attacking me. All right, fine. All right.
We have
Are we happy?
No. Yeah. Oh, you go ahead. Yeah.
You reversed the turn order here.
I'm so sorry. That's on me.
You reversed it.
I'm so sorry.
You used your points from Twitch. All right. We have Coastal Piracy for 2 double blue. It's an enchantment. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to an opponent, you may draw a card.
This has been one of my favorite reprints of recent.
Mm-hmm.
It dropped it down to like a nice 79-cent card. Great in the budget slot. but it's doing what we want to do. Again, we're going to try hit people for generally 1 damage. And generally speaking, I'm only going to swing. I'm going to be like, I swing at Slothy for 1. And a lot of people kind of have trouble dedicating something to deal with your 1 damage. You know, not many people are going to use their removal. We've got a lot of evasion in the deck, so you're going to get a lot of these coastal piracy draws, those kind of draws. Our next one we have is a little bit of a politics one, but I like it a lot too. It's Edric, Spymaster of Trest. 1 green, 1 blue. It's 2/2 elf rogue, so it doesn't trigger a commander. One of the few in the decks that doesn't do anything with it. But whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller may draw a card. So it does what we want to do. We want more card draw. We want to incentivize people to get away from us. I wish it was a 1. I got to get some -1 counters in this deck to get it going.
The next one we have here is Enduring Curiosity. 2 double blue for a 4/3 enchantment creature, Cat Glimmer with Flash. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And when Enduring Curiosity dies, if it was a creature, return to the battlefield under its owner's control, and it's now an enchantment.
I love these cards.
This cycle was really, really good.
Yeah, it's again, it's at the exact same cost as what we already want in the deck with that Coastal Piracy, the Biden Thassa, on a 4/3 body that you have to kill twice with 2 separate types of removal.
Yeah. Killing it the first time is nothing.
Yeah, killing it the first time just makes it one of the cards I already run in the deck.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of that card.
$10, not bad. And has Flash. Okay. Moving on. We have Military Intelligence for 1 and a blue. It's another enchantment. When you attack with 2 or more creatures, you draw a card.
I really can't understate how much this deck draws. It's a lot. We have an Orin Viper. 1 double green for a 1/3 snake. When it deals combat damage to a player, destroy that creature at the end of combat. This makes it a very aggressive blocker and attacker. Like I said, I'm swinging for 1 damage. Do you really want to throw your creature away at 1 damage, right? It's like Death Touch, but not quite Death Touch. I like it. And then again, we're going to get an extra draw because most people aren't going to start throwing their creatures away and trading for 1 damage. I like it. I like the snow creature aspect of it.
Yeah. Then we have Overwhelming Instinct. 2 and a green for an enchantment. Whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, draw a card.
It's every turn. Every turn since Rigo hits the board, we're attacking. 1 at each person. You got to.
Ooh. This next card is something that I love to use. It's Teferi's Aegis Insight for 2 double blue. Legendary enchantment. If you would draw a card, except the first one you draw in each of your draw steps, draw 2 cards instead. I love this card. It's so good. So fantastic.
It is just for us. Yeah. Like we swing out for a total of 3 damage, draw 6 cards is pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Our 4-drop area is really like if we're the most on curve, we want to like get like a 0-drop creature and a 1-drop. We want to get a 2-drop creature at most on the second turn. Rigo, and then turn 4, we want to hit one of these draw cards and draw like 6 or 7 cards on our second turn or third turn, whatever it is. Fill the hand back up like it's we have options in this deck. Keeping with the theme of 4-mana draw engines, we've got Toski, 3 and a green for a 1/1 legendary squirrel. Can't be countered. Triggers our commander, which is cool. It's indestructible. Attacks each combat available, which is already what we're doing. And whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
I like seeing the reprints of this.
Yeah.
You need it too.
It's a cool card. Toski's a fun commander to play.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get into some of our evasion creatures. We've got 13 of them.
Cool.
Yeah, here's where the deck starts to get a little annoying. We'll be honest with it. Because again, we're just trying to swing with 1/1s, but we want to hit people.
The first one we've got here is Cephalid Face Taker. 2 and a blue for a 1/4 Cephalid Rogue. It can't be blocked. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have Cephalid Face Taker become a copy of another target creature until end of turn, except it's 1/4, and this creature can't be blocked.
That's a fun card.
I love the art on it. It's so creepy.
Yeah, I was just noticing that.
Yeah, it's especially when you see it up big like this, like when we're looking at the screen.
Yeah.
I also love that flavor text. Few think to look past a familiar face and a friendly smile.
That smile does not look friendly.
That's a creepy card. I love it.
It's going to devour you. Moving on. We will not continue on with that joke. We have Cephid, Cell. How can you tell it's early for us? Cephalid, half mage for 2 and a blue. It's a Cephalid wizard that's a 1/2. It cannot be blocked, and you can tap it. You sacrifice it. Target creature is unblockable this turn.
Yeah, we already have a lot of things that can't be blocked. We're probably not going to use this on ours. This is more of a politics of like, hey, I need you to kill this player, so I'll make it so they can't block you.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
I like it. We have the most expensive card in our deck, which is Delny. I think Delny is a third of the budget of this deck, but it's great. Delny Streetwise Lookout is 2 and a white for a 2/2 human scout. Again, sadly not triggering our commander for attacks, but creatures you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater, so we get through a ton of stuff. Only small things can block us now. And if the ability of a creature you control with power 2 or less triggers an additional time, which is our commander every time we swing, draw an extra card. It's great. It's like Panharmonicon for our commander's draw.
I hate this card so much.
Yeah, Delny's great. Delny desperately needs a reprint already. It goes in so many decks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then we've got our Healer's Hawk. It's a single white for a 1/1 bird with flying and lifelink.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna remove this? You wasting your removal?
This guy?
Yeah.
All right. Got a nice old-fashioned Ornithopter for 0 mana. Artifact creature. Thopter is a 0/2 and has flying.
It is very fun to just say I attack you for 0. Draw a card.
Yeah, because you only care about the attack trigger. You don't care about damage.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to. I swing at Sherman for 0. I draw my card.
Yeah.
I love.
There you go.
I will swing at you for 0. Oh wait, now it's a 32-34.
We don't talk about that. We don't do that. I'll put the video up this week and stuff. That's I've been slow with making thumbnails. It's not me that makes them. It's Kaylin. It's I've been slow with giving Kaylin the art and the cards for the thumbnails. She would make them if I was better at giving them to him. But this week's coming up. We do have one of the Rigo, and I do hit someone with quite a big bird. I go Sesame Street on them. Yeah, and I'm a good sport the whole time. We have a Script Sprites as well. 1 green for a 1/1 fairy with flying. Again, these aren't good cards. I can't stress this enough. I love this deck so much, but they're not good. It's just really fun to play. It's like I said, Rigo I think is the commander I have the most fun playing with in every version. Maybe not my infect version. There's going to be an infect version in the thing. That's a salty deck. Don't do that. You can tell it's a salty deck. I put a few instants in it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I might get salty enough to change it to like my full like Force of Wills, Force of Negation, like my full Mean Boy package. We'll see. But right now it's okay. It's got some tap lands where it's chill for infect. Moving on, we've got Segovian Angel. It's a single white for a 1/1 angel with flying and vigilance. Yeah.
Flying vigilance. Oh, that's annoying.
Again, we have a ton of just these early game 1-drops that we can get out. They aren't threatening. They can early game aggro. People aren't going to waste their removal on them. They might, but the whole deck's full of it, so go ahead.
Chip damage is good damage.
Yeah, right. It's nice to get away, and these all have their nice way of like sneaking in, like the next one here.
Yeah. So we have the Shanodin Dryads for a single green. It's Dryad at the 1/1. The key thing here is that it has Forest Walk.
Yeah. How many people play green? Everyone.
Ugh, green.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Right?
Get it out of here.
Get it out of here. We have a Sneaky Homunculus. 1 and a blue for a 1/1 illusion. It's not even real. Can't block or be blocked by creatures with power 2 or greater. They're going to basically have to trade with us if they want to block this. Which, again, most people don't want to. Most people don't include 1/1s in their deck that they're fine with trading. It's usually their mana dorks. It's usually a birds, a Llanowar, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They don't want to trade for my little homunculus boy.
Well, why would you want to trade with something that's not even real to begin with?
Exactly. Keep watch only for the giants and you'll be eaten by the ants. Based. Okay, let's get... yeah.
Next up here, we've got the Soltari Foot Soldier. Single white for a 1/1 soldier with Shadow.
Yeah, if anyone doesn't know what Shadow is, can't block. It can block or be blocked only by creatures with Shadow, which makes it very annoying.
It does. Do you think they'll ever bring back Shadow?
I hope not. Although there are some like cool like creatures with Shadow phase out kind of cards and stuff. There's fun and stuff annoying.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
Slothy Voidwalker as Shadow, and that one's fairly new.
It's a great card.
That's true.
That's a monster card. I'd like to see a little more of that.
Well, like even like Dante's Embrace, where it's a black card, it's an enchantment, and you can pay like I think it was 2 black, and you can give someone Shadow. So that was an annoying card to find. It took me like almost 2 years to find a copy of that card.
Yeah, just one of those old ones that's never seen a reprint and is in people's like junk like shoebox collections.
Yeah, that was so annoying. I have that in my Hirobi deck. People hate it.
The Death's Wail.
Right. We have Tetsuko Umizawa Fugitive for a 1 and a blue. Legendary creature human rogue. That's a 1/3. Creatures you control with power or toughness 1 or less can't be blocked.
Yeah.
Good card.
Yeah, that's a game ender for us. A lot of times, like with how we want to pump up later and stuff. That's an ender for us.
Oh, so you do have instants in here.
There's a few. They're mostly on creatures though. We have Thalakos Seer, double blue for a 1/1 with Shadow, and if it leaves play, you draw a card. I'm drawing if I'm attacking. I'm drawing if you kill it. I'm drawing cards.
I paid for the deck. I'm going to be using the deck.
I plan to see the cards in this deck with the draw.
Our final one in this section is Thalakos Sentry. 1 and a blue for a 1/2 soldier with Shadow.
Yeah. Again, there's nothing crazy in there. Like Delny's the only card arguably that's good. The Face Taker's
Tetsuko's good.
Yeah, Tetsuko is very good. You're not wrong. But like the Face Taker's pretty decent at like giving us an effect if we want other things. But generally speaking, like these are pretty interchangeably cheap cards, all like the 30-cent card rate. Like pretty not wonderful. We have a few cards that interrupt things. They don't quite interrupt things like a real instant section, but
Cool. So let's check this out. Okay. First one we have is Bayin Veil. It's a 1 and a blue. It's an instant. Creature your opponents control get -2/-0 until end of turn. And it has a flip side. The flip side is going to be the Bayin Coast. It's a land. So enter battlefield tapped and you get a blue.
Yeah. The next card I really like playing. It's really stupid because in this deck, this acts as a damage doubler for us, which is hilarious. But it also it's really good like defense. It's really funny offense. It's equal treatment. This is an instant. It's 1 and a white. So if any source would deal 1 or more damage to a creature or player this turn, it deals 2 damage to that creature or player instead. So if somebody tries to swing out at me with like huge creatures, I turn all of that damage down to 2 or the same thing. They're trying to kill someone. And for us, we're already only dealing 1, so we're doubling our damage. And then it also has draw cards stapled onto it. It's fun to swing out with our little army of 1/1s, and then suddenly, really quickly, another card that's great in this deck, but I can't find any of them right now because everyone I know is animals and keeps buying them, is Scoot Swarm. Scoot Swarm is also great for this deck.
Oh, I've got several if you'd like
Give
one.
me them! Yeah, I have none. I can't find them anywhere. Every time I try to like buy them like at like any of the local stores, everyone's sold out of them. It's probably because of me, but I definitely need more Scoot Swarms, please. Scoot Swarms, Soul Rings, you guys get it? Equal treatment's really fun. It's just really funny to play when someone's trying to do a lot of damage and you turn it into no damage at all. And it's also really, really fun it's an anti-blasphemous act card too. So if any source would deal 1 or more damage to a creature or player, it deals 2 instead. 13 damage to all creatures and 2 damage to all creatures are very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I just love this card. You don't really see it very often.
No, I don't know if I've ever seen it actually.
Yeah. Junk cards, let's go.
Next one we've got here is Jwari Disruption. 1 and a blue for an instant. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. And it's got a flip side of Jwari Ruins. Enters the battlefield tapped, and you can tap it for blue.
True.
I'm a big fan of these.
The modals, yeah.
The MDFCs.
Yeah. You have 2 of them here. Does that mean you have 31 lands?
You don't judge me.
Because-
You don't judge me. I have less than 31 lands. There's 30. I have another flip card in here. It's fine. It's going to work itself out.
Okay, the last card we have here for interrupt clans is going to be Reconnaissance. For a single white, it's an enchantment. For 0 mana, you can remove target attacking creature you control from combat and untap it. This is a really, really great card, just because you can do it multiple times.
Yeah, we only care about that attack trigger on the swing, right? I don't care about actually doing damage. That's why swing is 0 cost. So it's nice to bring them back out. Then they're still untapped. They're still free to go.
Even if you do damage, it's pseudo vigilance as well.
True. I like it. Yeah, in the land section, I think we are running like 34 technical lands in this deck. The only land in here that actually matters is a Reliquary Tower. My Reliquary Tower is not even scanned into this list. You got to believe me. There's a Reliquary Tower in there. I have not updated it since the last time I played and didn't have a Reliquary Tower. But there is one in there. You've got to believe me. I have so many from face to face. So many. Let me get rid of a random planes. There we go. Perfect. I'll sort that out later. Okay, so anyways, as I was saying, Reliquary Tower is the only one that matters. Okay, let's get into our payoff for our drawing. We've got 3 cards that really, really, really benefit from it. I'll let you take our first one here, Slothy. Whose turn is it? Is it me or Slothy? Who is it right now?
It is you.
Okay, it's me. I'll take it then.
I did Reconnaissance.
Oh, I can't say this one. Joel Rail, 1 volley, Recluse. Either way. It's 1 in the green for a 1/2 human druid. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you create a 2/2 green cat, which is going to trigger basically every one of our turns, which is awesome. But the cats don't trigger our commander, which isn't as awesome as we want. Joel Rail herself will. But this is the great one. So we can swing with I've got 3 0/0s. I swing with them. I get my draw trigger. Then I can pump. So we can do a 4 double green. Until end of turn, creatures you control have base power toughness XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand. The whole deck is drawing on that attack trigger. So you just hold off for that attack trigger, and that's going to be an extra +3. But a lot of times you're going to be swinging out, like I swing 2 1/1s at each of you guys. I draw 3 cards. I was already holding 7. Now you guys you have 30 damage coming at each of you. It's Joel Rail's a pretty aggressive pump.
Mm-hmm.
Combat shenanigans.
Next up, we've got On the Trail. 1 and a green for an enchantment. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped.
Absurdly good card.
I'm a big fan of this one.
You need to reprint this.
I was gonna say, like, in any green draw themed deck, it's so good. Just that dumping lands in is phenomenal.
I find I keep on trying to throw these into Simic decks.
Yep.
Because you naturally draw so much from blue.
Well, and there's always so many like land ramp shenanigans afoot in Simic too, right? So just that extra land dump in is so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
If I know we don't have many lands in the deck, but if we're drawing 6 or 7 cards a turn and not hitting a land, we have a problem. We've got arena shuffler mechanics going.
Or it could be a good thing though, because you get nothing but gas.
True, it's all gas all day. Let's go. Yeah, my gas draw is 6 1/1s. 6 1/1s at 5 mana. Value.
There you go. All right, we got Prince Imrahil the Fair for a white and a blue legendary creature. Legendary creature, human noble. It's a 2/2. When you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 human soldier creature token.
I really want to, as a quick aside, I really want to do an illegal pairing of Joel Rail and Prince Imrahil.
You would want to do that, wouldn't you?
It's, you know what I mean? I think they both go for the same kind of thing. We've got the pump, we have the token creation. It just seems fun. It seems like a fun Bant deck.
Why don't you just play Council of the Four?
No, never. No, I want Joel Rail and I want Prince Imrahil.
There you go. You're set.
I have the cards like Barbie's. Come on, let me play them. Kiss. We have another section here called our Pump It Up section. You've got to pump it up.
Yeah.
I believe, yeah. No, it's me again. I'm bad
It's
at my
you
own
again.
turn. Okay, so biomass mutation. Again, another great instant. This is a game ender. A lot of these are going to be our we're ending the game cards now. This is X, 1 green, 1 blue, 1 green, 1 blue. So like it's like hybrid, simic. Creatures you control have base power, toughness, XX until end of turn, which is a lot of times going to end the game. We've been drawing 3 cards a turn since turn 2 or turn 3 in this deck. We're going to have a ton of mana sitting there because, again, we're not missing mana drops drawing 5 or 6 cards a turn. And if we are hated. We are hated by the spirits. The ancestors are against us. So yeah, biomass mutation is going to be another great one too. A lot of these cards you're going to want to get through after they've declared they're not blocking your 1/1s. But it's pretty obvious you're trying to kill them when you swing with like 10 1/1s all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm. The next one we've got here is Dollmaker's Shop and Porcelain Gallery. It's a room enchantment. The Dollmaker's Shop is 1 and white. Whenever 1 or more non-toy creatures you control attack a player, create a 1/1 white toy artifact creature token. And Porcelain Gallery is 4 double white. Creatures you control have base power and toughness equal to the number of creatures you control.
The rooms are a really cool mechanic. You can't respond to it unlocking, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a special action. You're always going to want Dollmaker's Shop out early, flood the board with these 1/1s. 3 a turn is pretty powerful for 2 mana.
Mm-hmm.
But that Porcelain Gallery getting unlocked is, again, an absurd one. These room cards are growing more and more on me as I see them more like played.
Yeah.
I hope that they do more. Like Duskmourn didn't suck as bad as I thought.
Duskmourn was...
I know a lot of people really like Duskmourn. I didn't buy too much from it, but the more I see things, like you said, especially in the common and uncommon slots of Duskmourn, I keep seeing cards. I'm like, why didn't I see this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's the room mechanic was super cool from Duskmourn. I have to give props where props are due.
Right. Next card here is going to be an Inspired Charge for 2 double white. It's an instant. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn.
Yeah.
Nice and simple.
We just pump it up a little.
You're swinging wide. Yeah.
We have another great one. We have Jazzle Goldmane. 2 double white for a 4/4. Not something our commander wants, but 4/4 Cat Warrior with 4 strike. 4/4 strike. First strike. 3 double white. Attacking creatures you control get XX, where X is the number of attacking creatures. Again, a very powerful game ender when you're swinging with all these like little small creatures.
Mm-hmm. Then we've got our Killer Bees. 1 double green for 0/1 bee with flying. You can pay a green to give it +1/+1 until end of turn.
Super fun just to swing with a 1/1 and pump 10 mana into it.
I love Killer Bees. So much fun. I love the artwork for Killer Bees. Bloody hell.
It's pretty cool. I'm a fan of this card. This one's definitely pet card. There's probably cheaper mana wise things, but I'm like, come on, you could pump the bee up. You gotta.
Hey, it's the bee's knees.
Yeah, you get it.
All right, we got Leonin Sun Standard for 2 mana. It's an artifact for 1 and a white. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn.
What a phenomenal little because again, if it was an anthem, right? Like then we don't get our commander thing. It's nice to have these like mana sinks that are away from like a full-born anthem, but still give us that ability to just dump mana into it. Because again, if we've got a ton, we're in a late game situation. This is fun. You're gonna have to. People don't really run artifact and enchantment removal as to the degree they should, right? And by the time you're trying to deal with it, you're probably dead. Like I've probably already pumped it up like 13 times, unless you're holding a Crossing Grip.
Yeah.
The Sun Standard's cool.
Actually, are you running any removal so far?
Yeah, player
removal. Slowly but surely you'll get there.
Yeah, player removal. Come on, I have unblockable creatures. That's the removal. Other people remove problems. I'm the problem.
You know who made this deck, right, Sherman?
Yeah. One of the versions has some removal in it somewhere, I'm sure. But this one's all gas. We're drawing cards. We're putting cards down. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Daniel, just read the next card.
We have Mankindi Stampede. 3 double white. Creatures you control get 2/2 until end of turn. It's a sorcery, and it's another flip land. Enters tapped. You add a white.
You're up to 34 lands. Holy smoke! You're up to my territory now.
Yes.
Yay!
Here's my next card is removal.
Next one is Preposterous Proportions. 5 double green for a sorcery. Creatures you control get +10/+10 and gain vigilance until end of turn.
I had a lot of unblockable creatures to be getting +10/+10.
Oh, here's the card I was waiting for. Triumph of the Hordes for 2 double green sorcery. Until end of turn, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain trample and infect. They need to reprint this card so badly. Good golly, it's so hard to find.
$21 uncommon. Let's go.
Yeah. Holy smokes.
It's it's just a great game ender.
Yeah, I guess the only reprint this has had was the Fortnite one.
Did it have a Fortnite one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They seriously need to reprint this. It's crazy.
Where was the secret layer Fortnite? Not even the fort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's fair. I think it was a list card as well, but the list isn't a meaningful reprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty rough one. Then we have, for our final Pump It Up card here, we have Vivian's Stampede, which is just a fun card to cast. It's 4 double green. Each creature you control gets Vigilance, Trample, and Melee until end of turn. Whenever a creature with melee attacks, it gets 1/1 until end of turn for each opponent you attack this combat. And again, we're always attacking 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the beginning of the next main phase, this turn, draw a card for each player who has dealt combat damage this turn. So again, a little bit more draw as well.
Yeah. Where would you like to go next? Looks like we've got 3 sections.
Let's do our ramp here. Our ramp's simple.
Sure. First one here, Arcane Signet, 2 mana artifact. You can tap it for 1 mana of any color and your commander's color identity.
Simple, effective. Moving on. Next one we have is Avacyn's Pilgrim for a single green. It's a creature, human, monk. The 1/1, and you can tap it to add 1 white.
Yeah. Again, all our little mana dorks are going to be able to trigger our commander too, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
We have Birds of Paradise, arguably one of my favorite cards to kill people with. It's very fun to, in fact, kill someone with Birds of Paradise. I don't know what to tell you. Birds of Paradise is a 1 green mana, 0/1 bird with flying, and tap to add 1 mana of any color.
And then we've got the Gilded Goose. For a single green, you get a 0/2 bird with flying, and when it enters, create a food token. You can pay 1 and a green to tap it to create a food token, and tap it to sacrifice the food to add 1 mana of any color.
Sometimes the goose do be on the loose.
Honk.
Yeah.
Honk. He honk, he bonk. You guys get it?
Now I want to play Untitled Goose Game again.
Yeah.
The game's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
So much fun being the terror of the town. All right. We got Llanowar Elves for a single green. Elf, Druid, 1/1, tap to add a green. Man, so this is really nice artwork from the Jumpstart.
Yeah, I like the new artwork a lot. I think it's cool. We have our Simple Soul Ring. We've got to. You actually don't really need to. Most of my decks that run this one don't really run a Soul Ring because it can't cast our commander. It can't accelerate us to our commander. And a lot of the stuff we're casting is like 1 green pip, you know? This is going to get our ramp section or our draw section out faster, but a lot of time, like I can't Gilded Goose this, I can't Llanowar Elves this, you know? It's kind of
out of here.
Yeah. We have a Soul Ring, 1 mana, tap for 2. We have a section here called Stacks Cards We Don't Care About. They're not affecting us. They're fun. They're fun for the whole table. This is my removal, Sherman. I get removed from the play group.
What's my turn, isn't it?
I think it's Sherman here, right? Is it Sherman or Slothy? Slothy.
Yeah. First one here, we've got Arm with Ether. 2 and a blue for sorcery. Until end of turn, creatures you control gain whenever this creature deals combat damage or deals damage to an opponent. You may return target creature that player controls to its owner's hand.
That's annoying.
Such an annoying card.
Especially with how many unblockables we have. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. This next card I love. It's called Crackdown for 2 and a white. It's an enchantment. Non-white creatures with power of 3 or greater don't untap during their controller's untap step.
I really like casting this card. It's fun. It's that really wrecks a lot of people's game plans.
Yeah.
Not ours. We don't care. We have
You
no.
know what?
You had.
Yeah. lately, like there's been a lot of creatures that are like power 3 or greater, or they're like low power, but people are playing like anthems or playing +1/+1 counters. So stuff like Crackdown is just devastating nowadays.
A lot of time it's going to lock their commanders down, which is going to be the big problem for a lot of people. You see a lot of aggro dragon decks, angel decks kind of thing, right? A lot of damage coming at me from this guy. Now with Crackdown, although it is non-white creatures, those angels are still probably coming at me.
Yeah,
that's true.
We have an actual piece of removal. You guys will be proud of me. It is Dusk. Dusk and Dawn. So Dusk, the Dusk part of it is 2 double white. You destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater, which I think in our deck is 2. The Glimmer Cat, which comes back, and Jazzle. But if we have Jazzle, we're probably already winning, so we don't need this. Then Dawn is return all creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. That's awesome. It's like our whole deck. Board wipe me, I board wipe you back.
Great card.
Yeah. Oh, and that's 3 double white.
Next up, we've got Meekstone. White, or a single colorless. For an artifact, creatures with power 3 or greater do not untap during their controller's untap steps.
That's a great card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another great one. Ooh. This is one of my pet cards.
It's a brutal card.
It's Noetic Gales. For 4 mana, it's an artifact. During each player's upkeep, return to owner's hand each creature that player controls with power greater than the number of cards in his or her hand. This is such a devastating card because you're basically telling people, hey, you can't play your creatures unless you keep stuff in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you need to keep stuff in your hand? That means you can't cast spells. It's so stupid strong.
This wrecks a lot of commanders.
Mm-hmm.
And it, again, for us, like it's power 1 and 0. We don't care. Those things aren't bounced into our hand. But like we're never going to have less than that, right? Like I'll tell you right now, this deck's big weakness is like it is what's the the commander's name? The draw one that hurts me.
Rakdos? Like Narset or whatever?
No, it's in red, black, blue.
Oh,
Nekusar.
Nekusar,
yeah. Nekusar effects really wreck this deck. Slothy's House of Pain deck wrecks this deck when you have the spiteful visions and stuff like that. Where I draw, it's not good. It's not good to do that. But short of that, we have so many cards in hand that we're good. Who plays that? Who does that anyways? But short of that and stuff, generally speaking, we're never going to be affected by this noetic scales. Our creatures just aren't powerful enough, and it's in upkeep, so our pump effects don't matter. But this is going to ruin the game for some people, and it's going to make them pretty salty.
Yeah.
Cool card. It's a cool place. I think it's me. Yeah, here we have Xanted Swarm, which is also very annoying. It's 1 green for a 0/1 insect with flying. When it attacks, the defending player can't cast spells this turn.
That's annoying.
Yeah, if you have
it really is annoying.
Yeah, if you have someone in your play group that you think is going to be the Cycriff card or the I have a response guy, you just attack them with this. Then they have to burn whatever response they have before you cast your instants to pump things, or they just have to die not being able to cast any spells. They just have to glare at the 0/1 card like...
They glare at the Xanted Swarm like you glare at Cyclonic Rift.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the flavor text. Even when they land on you, all you can think about is tearing them off. Truer words never spoken. And then I think our last section... Oh, no, we got 2 more sections. Okay, so let's hit our tokens here.
Sure. Our first one here is Charge of the Might. 2 and a white for an instant. You can choose one. Charge of the Might deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker.
See, that's removal.
Or you can create... Yeah. Or you can create 2 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. It can draw cards, though.
True.
That's a fun card. The next one's also fun. Exotic Pets for 1 in a white and a blue. It's an instant. Create 2 1/1 blue fish creature tokens with this creature can't be blocked. Then for each kind of counter among creatures you control, put a counter of that kind on either of those tokens.
Our commander has shield counters.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the shield fish. I love it. We have a background because they're so good, all of them. I want more backgrounds desperately. We have Feywild Visitor, 2 and a blue. Legendary enchantment background. Commander creatures you own have whenever one or more non-token creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you get a 1/1 blue fairy dragon creature token with flying. It's everything we want. It's evasion. It's 1/1. It's extra creatures to be annoying with. I love it.
Kind of a little side note on these backgrounds, but with them doing the 2024 versions of the 5th edition core books, I would love to see a Return to Baldur's Gate with updated and newer backgrounds.
New backgrounds, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I love the background so much. I thought it was such a fresh take on the partner mechanic, and I love partner. And again, I can't get enough of building a lot of these backgrounds.
Absolutely.
I've for a while, really quickly, I've wanted to build Halcyon, the one that makes my tokens into bears. I've wanted to build Halcyon and Feywild Visitor, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But I've always thought that'd be like really fun. I swing with a bunch of 1/1 fairies in the air. You can't block them. I turn them into bears. Bears from the sky. That's, I should build that deck later. Anyways.
Our final token card here is Rabble Rousing. 4 and a white for an enchantment. It's got Hideaway 5. So when it enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library, exile 1 face down, put the rest at the bottom in a random order. And whenever you attack with 1 or more creatures, create that many 1/1 green and white citizen creature tokens. Then if you control 10 or more creatures, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost.
We just use this as a token generator.
Yeah.
It's the Hideaway 5 is going to be kind of rough to be like, I cast Ornithopter, I guess.
Surprise, Zented Swarm.
Yeah, right. I get 0 mana. We have one final section here. This is our toolbox of creatures. See, there is a few pieces of removal kind of in here. I will let you take us away, Sherman.
Oh, really? All right, we have a Druid Lyrist for green. It's a Druid. It's a 1/1. You can tap a green and tap it. Sacrifice the Druid. Destroy target enchantment.
See, we have a piece there. We've got a piece of removal. We have Elvish Lyricist, which does essentially the exact same thing. 1 green for a 1/1 elf with pay a green, tap it, sack it, destroy target enchantment. We're packing enchantment removal everywhere.
Then we've got Elvish Scrapper. It's a green for a 1/1 elf. You can pay green and tap it, sacrifice to destroy target artifact. Look at you go.
See, we have some tools here.
My goodness. We have Hanged Executioner for 2 and a white. It's a spirit. It's a 1/1. It has flying. When Executioner enters, you create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. For 3 and a white, you exile the Executioner, exile target creature.
See, we have some. It's nice that gives us 2 creatures that can trigger.
This is proper removal.
These are proper removal. This is a proper removal section if I've ever seen one. I have interaction coming up as Judge's Familiar. We're interacting with the board and having flyers. It's a Hybrid Azorius for a 1/1 bird. It's a flying. And you sack it, counter target instant or sorcery spell, unless its controller pays 1. Very funny to wreck people's Psychrift with.
Yeah.
No one's paying attention to my junk bird.
The penultimate card here is Nova Cleric. Single white for a 1/2 cleric. You can pay 2 and a white and tap and sacrifice to destroy all enchantments.
Yeah, there's one more. You missed one more, but there, yeah, it's I playing with like especially players like Brian's a good example of it. Some people pack insane amount of enchantments in decks, right? Like they're really heavy enchant, and I tend to try and keep in my more serious decks, which is funny to say, it's a serious deck with how much garbage is in here. But in my more serious decks, I like to pack a destroy all enchantments because there's so many times where people just get to a point where you can't target it. They have like a greater Oromancy kind of set up. You can't get their enchantments. They have like a Pillow Fort deck is gonna really hurt us in this, right? Like where we can't attack, and because that's the only thing we can. I guess we have other win cons, but mostly we're trying to attack. So Nova Cleric is just a nice, easy inclusion at 1 mana for a 1/2 to just blow it all up. Still, worst case scenario, it's just triggering our commander for the meta we're in. Best case, it is a late game bomb that's going to change the landscape of the game we're playing.
Yeah.
And then Sherman, take us away with our last one.
I get the last card here.
This
Last
isn't.
one.
It's not removal, but still.
Sky Shroud Ranger for a single green. It's an elf. It's a 1/1. You didn't tap it. You may put a land card from your hand into play. Play this ability only anytime you can play a sorcery. You should really put this in the ramp.
I literally just, while you're doing that on the video, you can see that I'm in the middle of, I just moved to a ramp. I was like, But yeah, that's Rigo. And again, I really, really like, I really like playing Rigo. It's not, again, there's nothing really crazy in the deck. Like you could even budget this one down. This one's only $187. You could budget it down crazy. Like 60 of the dollars is Delny and Triumph of the Hordes.
Triumph,
yeah. Right? Like, so when you look at that, like you can really, really easily make this cheap. I've got my other, like I have a few budget versions. Like my mono white version of it is a $58 deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. There is one card I wanted to talk about in the mono white version if you're playing it, because no one plays this and it's a really cool card. It's Charge Across the Araba. It's 4 and a white. It's an instant, but it has this really weird ability called Sweep. Return any number of planes you control to its owner's hand. Creatures you control get 1/1 until end of turn for each planes returned this way. It's such a cool finisher in a mono white deck, like a Weenies deck.
Mm-hmm.
I return, not if they have a fog though. I return 15 planes. Everything gets 15. Fog. I'm just stuck doing nothing. Whoops. Uh-oh. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. It's
Such a stupid mechanic.
Which one?
Sweep. It's such a stupid mechanic.
It's kind of cool. Like I said, I have a lot of cool Rigo decks in my opinion. I'm gonna put I'll put a few, like most of them. That one is my most expensive Rigo deck. Like I said, they're not crazy to build. My full infect one's $125. My very first one I built is $72, and then like the mono white one that I'll put in is $50. It's a great, especially starting deck to teach people triggered abilities. You get the consistency of drawing things. In these colors, there's lots of cool alternate win cons, like I said in the first list, right? Where you've got like an epic struggle win. You've got so you can teach people to go about it that way as well. I really, really think Rigo is a very beginner friendly deck. I think it's very fun, and it's just silly. It's kind of nice to get away from a lot of the more powerful stuff at tables and playing it into a high power table and swinging at people for 0/1 is really funny. Nobody really knows how to react to that or how to threat assess these garbage cards because they're like, it's not good. What are you talking about? Like I love it. But yeah, every version of this Rigo deck draws insane amounts of cards. I've never played any Rigo deck and not had like a mitt full of cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. What do you guys think of this Rigo deck before we wrap her here?
Well, go ahead.
Sure. Well, you've convinced me. I'm going to be spending the rest of the day building a mono white Rigo.
I think you'd love it. It's so fun.
It definitely feels like kind of. It was always one that kind of piqued my interest from you talking about it and seeing it in a couple games, and then seeing a full list where you kind of break it down. Really proclaimed the good word.
You draw so many cards. It's such having a mono white draw, like power draw deck is crazy.
Yeah. It's absolutely insane, and yeah, I'm very excited to build this one. I really, really like Rigo. I like the versions of it that you've talked about. Sans Infect.
No, you like the Infect one. Don't lie to me.
Yeah, no, you know me. I like the Infect one. Yeah, that's what I think about it. I think it's a really cool commander. It's insane draw.
Again, any draw engine that's going to give me the ability to draw 3 cards a turn for doing pretty much nothing. Again, your play group, go ahead, kill my 1/1. Who cares? Who cares if you kill my Leonin, whatever nonsense it is, you know? Oh no, you killed my Leonin Elder. What am I going to do? Grow up. Right? Like I'm going to swing another 1/1 at you next turn. It doesn't matter. I really, really like it. I think this deck runs 36 or 37 creatures.
Damn.
Yeah. Where's by types? We're running 35 creatures in this deck, which is a lot. 7 instants in a deck? Who is this guy?
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
What's your thoughts on this here, Sherman?
It's interesting. Like I probably would have gone with like if you're drawing so much, I probably would have gone with like a life gain infinite hand size strategy,
Yeah.
where you're gaining life from things like Ivory Tower and like Fencer's Journal.
Yeah.
And then you have like the Soul Warden, Soul Sisters, and all that stuff. So like Rigo, you can build so many different decks with Rigo, which is why it's so good. It's so versatile. So like the commander itself is just really, really fun. But like that's the direction I would go with. For this deck in particular, I hate Delmy. I hate Delmy so much.
Yeah.
Like it is like, don't get me wrong, it is a overpowered card. You know, it's pricey for a reason. You know me, I tend not to like pricey cards. So like, yeah, I hate Delmy for that reason. But other than that, like it is a fun deck. Like Rigo is really, really fun. I do hope people do give it a shot. You know, and if you want, like, try doing it, like, I don't know, try building 4 different ways, right? And see which one that you would enjoy. Like theory craft it. Go on like Architect, theory craft 4 different Regals, see which one you would do, and just try building one, you know, and go from there.
I just into the chat there. I dumped what the thumbnail is going to be for this week that I'm having Kaylin work on. It's pretty great so far.
That's amazing.
It makes me laugh. So you guys will have seen it by this point, but Thunder gets the early look at it, and it makes me chuckle very hard. But yeah, no, Rigo is.
What's your face down in there?
Oh no, my face will be in there. Don't you worry. My face will be on Rigo.
One question that I have for you, kind of looking through this list as well as the mono white one that you sent.
Is it where's my removal? There is none.
No. Get it out of here.
Get it out of here.
Have you considered the card Patch Up?
Patch Up's great. I have Patch Up in my I think in my first version of the deck. That's it's like a Sun Titan effect, right?
Yeah, return up to 3 target creature cards with total mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Yeah, my initial deck, I'm pretty sure, runs Helping Hand, Patch Up, Proclamation of Rebirth, and Storm of Souls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Patch Up's so good. The return 3 target creature cards with total mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to battlefield is wonderful. Helping Hand's the same thing. It's just return target creature.
Yeah.
And then I really like the Proclamation of Rebirth is return 3 target creatures with converted mana cost 1 or less from your graveyard to play. I love it. And also you can forecast and just keep doing it. Yeah, there's so many cool cards that you don't really get a chance to see played. My first version of the deck has like for fun enders as well is like I'm scrolling through it on the list here, but it's got like a Spare from Evil, which is 1 of the white creatures you control gain protection from non-human creatures till end of turn. That's a pretty good way to win a deck against like a ton of like goblins, elves. Like a lot of people play lots of theme-based things.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, a lot of times, unless they're playing a human deck, really kill people quickly with that. Mirror Entities, another wonderful pump card to finish.
Mm-hmm.
And it's naturally a 1/1, which is good. I just ran out of Mirror Entities, so it's not in that deck. And then I play this silly Thought Weft Gamble, is another ender in another version. And it's 4 and then 1 Azorius like hybrid, 1 Azorius hybrid. Tap all creatures your opponents control and untap all creatures you control as an instant. That's a really obnoxious game ender where they think they have blockers and it's like, okay, well, good luck. Yeah. But no, it's I really like the idea. I think a life gain Rigo would be really cool, especially going with the alternate win cons and stuff of being able to just like hold out. You could do like the Azors, Elecutors, like the name's escaping me right now. Felidar Sovereign, those kind of wins.
Yeah.
But like even if you don't do that, like it's just difficult for people to beat you down fast enough because of your life gain, right? So, and then if you throw in things like where your creatures don't take damage, like Bubble Matrix, or you know, so like you can block like crazy, or you can do things like, or like if you still want to attack, you know, Dolmen's Gate, that one's more expensive.
Yeah.
So, and then there's ways of saving your creatures from pure damage. So besides like Sinister and White, you have like fog effects, right? So you have like Holy Day, Dawn Charm, and then like even like if they like sort of like besides like sort of the Blasphemous Act, like you had where your answer was what you got the equal treatment.
Yeah.
Another one would be Saving Grace. So all damage dealt to you and creatures you control are dealt to one a creature that you own or creature you control.
My one of my versions has like a similar card. It's Martyrdom. I'm pretty sure I put in that deck.
Mm.
And Martyrdom. It's like another instant where it's all damage is directed to one player. I don't think. Maybe I have it in here. I thought I did.
Is that the triple white one?
No, it's one white. It's a pretty stupid card. 1 white mana, all damage dealt to you is dealt to one target creature instead. It's kind of like a Gideon's Sacrifice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what a fun card would be for you? So let me look at it. It's like Pharrell's something. Like Pharrell's Mantle or something like that. I can't find it right now. Actually, let me try that. Mantle. F. Oh, here. That's why. Yeah, Pharrell's Mantle. It's 2 and a white. It's an enchantment aura. Okay, so an enchant creature. When an enchanted creature attacks and isn't blocked, its controller may have it deal damage equal to its power +2 to target creature.
That's fine.
If that player doesn't, if that player does, the attacking creature deals no combat damage this turn. So I use that a lot for politics, where it's like, hey, Slothy, let me attack you. Don't block it. It will deal 0 damage to you. I'm just going to redirect that damage to one of Daniel's creatures instead.
No, you don't mean it.
So even if you attack with an Ornithopter, it's not a big deal. It still deals 0, but it deals 2 damage to a different creature of your choice.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Like I said,
I know. But anyways,
Rigo's just such a silly commander. Like it's really, really fun. I do think, unironically, without a joke, that it is the best mono white draw commander that exists.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just it's a lot of draw in a white. When you bust out mono white and you start hitting people like that, it's pretty silly. I should my mono white deck is just, again, it's a list of ones that it'll be in the notes. It's just a list of cards that I pulled from like my box while I was sitting there. And you could definitely make it like way better with like a set of Soul Sisters, Linden, like some real life game stuff. Like you could make a much better version. This is just a cheap version that you can slap together for $50, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. That's my Rigo. I would love to know what people think of Rigo, why it's the best commander in there. You know, give me your own essays on how it is. And again, like I want to know if people have built a Rigo list. There's probably much better Rigo lists than mine. Again, a lot of my cards in it are not good. They're not good cards, but they're funny. You know, Killer Bee is unironically a hilarious card to kill people with. So is Gilded Goose. You know, I really like hitting people for 0 damage. It's super fun. Yeah, that's That's it. Let me hit our music here, and we'll say goodbye to the fine people. Thank you everyone for getting through. I'm dying here. Thank you for getting through our episode. If you like what you're hearing, like, share, subscribe. It does help us out a lot. It really helps people notice it. Then we can do more things. If you want to go above and beyond, come to Patreon. There's lots of cool people on Patreon right now. We get to chat decks. We build things. Get deal ideas. Just a nice little place to chat. You can build Rigo decks number 9, 10, and 11 with me, so that'll be fun. You also can listen live early, like Thunder is doing. And hello, good morning, Thunder. I said it in the thing, and I guess this week you see the thumbnail early too, because it's hilarious. Other than that, if you guys are looking for any cards, like you want to buy these Delnies, go to houseofcards.ca. They're great. Promo code IT99 is going to give you a discount. It's going to give us a little bit of a kickback. Nice way to support us. Nice way to get cards with a discount, which never hurts anyone. And then AI armor sleeves for all these cool things. They're just really nice sleeves in general. I like them. I can't say enough good things about them. I need to stock up on them again soon. Probably for this illegal Joel Rail and Prince Imrahil deck. But we'll get there. We'll get it. Thank you guys for listening. Tell me what you think should go in Rigo, aside from removal. I understand. I get that I should put a Path to Exile in decks. You don't need to tell me. I understand it's a good card. I understand that instants are playable and that I could probably make the deck much better if I was serious as a person. But I'm not, and I want to draw cards. That's it. We vibe.
All right, later.
See you later.